communication. She loves poetry and storytelling. She sings in the choir group in the church and is currently learning to play ukulele. Another is the second role player we have is the storyteller Geeta Kashyap. Geeta ma'am has been teaching English to the senior classes for more than 25 years now. She loves singing, dancing, swimming, and going for long drives like we all do. She really wants to travel the world around. So let me tell you a story. Once a dispassionate young man approached the Greek philosopher Socrates and said, "Oh, great Socrates, I have come to seek knowledge from you." Socrates took the young man down to a sea, waded with him in it, and dunked his head under the water for 30 seconds, and then left him. Socrates asked him, "So, what do you say you want?" The young man said, "Knowledge, O great Socrates." The philosopher again dunked him, but this time for a longer time, and asked, "What do you say you want, young man?" He said, "Air, I want air." Socrates said, "Good. This is the way it is. If you want something badly enough, you have to have that kind of willpower and desire to achieve it. And that can only be developed through passion." So, with this note, I would like to welcome Haritosh Srivastav, our keynote speaker of the day, and I would introduce him. Haritosh Srivastav started his Toastmaster journey in 2016 from TCS Netri Toastmasters Club in District 41. Since then, he has been a part of multiple clubs in India, US, UK, and now online club. He has played multiple club officer roles, including VP, VPPR. He had also been a Toastmaster Pathways guide and had taken multiple sessions about pathways. He is currently serving as VP Education of Basingstoke Speakers UK and slated to become the chattering president of Global Online Advanced Club. Wow. He calls himself Toastaholic and speech contest buff. He has been an international speech contestant, winning at club and area level, and runner-up at division level. By profession, he is an IT professional with 13 plus years of experience. And he's currently serving in a role of IT portfolio manager in TCS. At the start of 2020, Haritosh rekindled his passion for reading non-fictional books and have finished dozens of books since start of the year. And during the pandemic, he overtook a new passion of YouTube video creation. He has completed 8,000 plus views in his channel recently. He also identifies himself as a survivor cook who cooks only to survive, but have been discovering a lot of delicacies that we would like to hear during this corona time. Today, he is going to talk about how can you pursue your passion during difficult times. And he also has a special announcements to be made towards the end of the keynote. So please help me welcome Haritosh with a big round of applause. Welcome, Haritosh.
I told Kavaljit, that's a long intro. I'm pretty sure you must be bored by now. So let me tell you a little bit more story about this. I attended the Readers Are Leaders book meeting about 2 months back, and I was thinking, what if I'm invited as a keynote? What can I talk about? I have not written a book. I'm not a speech contest champion. What can I really do? And yeah, as they say, what you wish for actually happens. So 2 weeks after that, Apu sent me a text that, would you like to be a keynote speaker? That's a golden opportunity. How could I miss that? So I said, yes, I'll figure it out. I thought about it and I thought, what can actually I talk about? And I thought about what have I done this year that could be of real interest to all the people joining today and also watching on YouTube. So I thought about my journey in this earlier this year. In year 2020, as you know, has been, yeah, let's say that, amazing. So at the start of the year 2020, I was supposed to travel to UK, and I did travel. My club members gave me a pretty good farewell. The cake was yummy. And I came in on February 23rd, 2020 in UK. And many of you know, 1 week after that, there was a complete lockdown because of all this virus. And as with most of us, I also felt bad. What can I actually do? I can't go outside. I can't do anything. That too in a new country. So I thought, let's, if we can't go outside, let's try to pursue some passion, some of the things which I have not been able to do in a long time, because we all are busy, we don't have time, we have so many things to do. Now we didn't have that excuse, so I thought of pursuing those passion, and during those I discovered a few key things that I think if you apply would also help you. Now, I'm not a believer of having too many PPT slides. So I thought, let's have some activity for all of you. So let's go to menti.com. I'm also putting in the code in the chat box and put this code, and we'll have some fun. Once you join, you will see a question. What is that one word which comes when we talk about passion? What do you think is that one word which will define your passion? Please type in that and let's see. It should probably bring a word cloud. I hope people are able to enter. Okay, it's coming up. Love, enjoyment. Wow. Effortless, discipline, self motivation, content, YouTube, creativity. Amazing, amazing. Interest, I saw Geeta I'm putting it in chat. Enthusiasm, dedication. Wow, this is getting bigger and better. So what you see is here love, motivation, or self motivation. I mean, I feel if you are having a passion, it should never feel like work. Sometimes for people, the work is their passion, and that we can't define it as work. But at times you have other hobbies, other pursuits that becomes your passion. And thank you so much for putting in all. We have one more question, and I promise that's going to be the last one. Have you ever faced challenge pursuing your passion? 5, 7. Yes, yes. All right, not sure. I would like to meet that person after this meeting, but jokes apart. And I would definitely like to meet that person who never faced any challenge, because that would be somebody I would look up to. When you think about pursuing your passion, most of the time there is some or other challenges come up. And if that was not the case, I would really love to listen and know about that. Now, let me come back to PPT. I am an IT professional. I'm supposed to have PPTs. That is our dharma. So when I think about passion, there are 6 things that I'm going to talk about today that can really help you pursue your passion. And some of them may have a couple of things within that. So feel free to take what you like, and for rest of the things you can blame me. The very first thing I think about is mentoring. If you are passionate about reading or writing or cricket or speeches, you need to do mentoring. And mentoring comes in 2 parts. The first one is getting mentors. In my Toastmaster career and otherwise, I had the opportunity to have different mentors from across the geographies. And I feel that whatever I do or whatever I've done, it's all possible because I was having a mentor or a number of mentors with me who guided me at every step of time. But having a mentor and after a certain point of time is not enough, because you need, and we are in a community, you need to give it back. So you also need to be someone's mentor. These are 3 people who I mentored when I joined back in TCS Noida 6, and there have been a few more in different clubs. So mentoring, I think, is one of the very important thing. And when you are facing challenges while trying to pursue your passion, the mentor could be the one person that could really help you drive and find out what exactly is the challenge and how you can pursue it better. Now, the second thing that can help you is connecting with friends. Now, when I say connecting with friends, some of you might feel like this is cliche. Friends, we all know we need to connect with friends. So I thought, let me spice it up and I'll say connect with non-human friends. And let me clarify, I'm not a pet person. I'm not going to talk about cats or dogs. I don't adore them, but I don't hate them either. I'm going to talk about connecting with some old friends. For me, my old friends were connecting with the books. These are the books that I have read in 2020. Some of them are in process and about to finish. But to me, 2020 was about getting and reconnecting to old friends, and at the same time making friends with some new friends, and which are number one, podcast. Now I discovered this earlier this year, the podcasting. I did not know much about that, but since I discovered it, I've got obsessed with it. I mean, I spend at least 20, 30, 40 minutes every day going through different types of podcasts, learning from different leaders and different motivators. It could be related to finances, related to motivation, related to presentation skills, but it's absolutely phenomenal. And the third, which should be common for a lot of leaders or readers club, is the audiobooks, the digital version or audio version of the books. I have read, I mean, if I talk about my favorite book, I have The Secret, that I've heard at least 3 times. The 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins. That's an amazing book. I've read at least, heard at least 2 times so far. And another piece, if you want to know more about financial freedom, that's book called Financial Peace by Dave Ramsey, amazing person back in US. So lot of new friends I've made, non-human new friends to say. So that is the second thing that can help you pursue your passion. Now, what could be the next thing that can help you pursuing your passion? And that is trying out new things. Now, during this corona or this lockdown, we were not supposed to go out, but that did not stop us to try new things. As you can see, we had special combined meetings where Toastmasters from across the world joined, from US, UK, India joined. We also, I started pursuing the YouTube, and then I got into Instagram and then started some live Instagram. So this whole 8 to 10 months has been an experimental mode. And I think that has really helped me to grow to what I am. And that is what the message I want to give it to you. Keep trying new things. If you are passionate about something, you can always find out. So if you're passionate about dancing, you can try out Garba, then you can also try about Bhangra, you can also try Kathakali to find out what exactly you are more passionate about, or is there something that you really want to try more and learn more about. So that's the third message that I have for you if you want to pursue your passion. Now, what could be the fourth thing? Now, this any 5 a.m. club members here? I know many of you know about Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club, and I'm also part of. I try to wake up at least on 5 days out of 7 days to about 4:30 to 5, And that has been an absolute game changer for me for last 1 year or so. My morning ritual, and it's my morning ritual, you don't have to follow that, is that waking up, reading about 30 minutes, listening to some podcast, doing some sort of journaling, and then I'm trying to learn French. My plan was to go to Paris to attend Toastmaster conference, which got cancelled, and I still didn't learn French, but I'm trying. The point here is that when you wake up an hour early, you don't have to really wake up at 5 a.m. And 1 hour early before your time of waking up regularly can actually give you a lot of time to follow your passion. If your passion is reading, if your passion is writing, if your passion is doing some more learning new skills, that 1 hour or that 45 minute could be enough for you to go and do your whole day and then come back next day and do that. So now here I have a quick tip for people who find that waking up early is little difficult. This is one thing I've tried and hope you might also try. Whenever you're putting an alarm in the phone, don't put your phone next to you. Put it at least 8 to 10 feet away from your bedside. So if it is, and put the most shrilling or whatever you feel that this is really irritating sound, you have to put that. And when you put it about 8 to 10 feet away, you actually have to walk 6, 7, 8 feet to reach there. And once you do that, it becomes really easy for you to actually wake up and difficult for you to actually go back and sleep again. When it is an arm's reach, it's very easy to snooze or cancel. And sometimes you feel like I'll wake up an hour early and then you wake up 2 hours late. So that's my quick tip. It's taken by Mel Robbins. She says that put your phone in bathroom. I'm not going to recommend that, but at least keep it 8 to 10 feet away. That will help you. Now, another thing that has helped me in pursuing my passion is scheduling your calendar. Now, I know I'm guilty. When I was a kid or when I was studying, we friends used to make fun of a lot of Westerners that they schedule their time for pet walking, grocery shopping, and others. But what I've discovered over time is when you put things in your calendar, it actually works because then it is out of your mind and you can anytime go and check. And especially for people who are working and having these Zoom meetings and other things, if you put something in your calendar, it really helps you schedule and plan your day. That has been my key. As many of you know, I'm attending so many Zoom meetings, and I also have a full-time job, and also need to talk to my family. So I try to put as much things in my calendar as possible, so that one, I don't have to find the Zoom link when readers meeting is starting, and number two is that it's easy for me to find out which are the slots I can really use for myself and which are the slots which has to be dedicated for office works. So that's my tip number 5. And coming to last tip, which is tip number 6, is mind mapping. Now, this is more for when you are trying some creative pursuits. For example, you are giving a keynote, or you are trying to draw something, you are trying to write a book. Having a mind map actually enables you to think in various directions while having the base idea. So if you see, this was one keynote I gave about 2 years back in District 11, 1.5 year back. And the point was that how do you increase the how do you improve the club culture. And I got one big chart paper and pasted in my wall and then wrote everything I could think about club culture, including how do you greet your guests, how do you make sure that people are motivated, to how do you make sure that people are recognized and everything. And then eventually it turned into a presentation taking up the idea and different things. So there are different softwares also available that you can use. Xmind is one of them, but use those mind mapping techniques when you are in a creative pursuit. That would really help you drive your passion. So before I shut my mouth, these are the 6 tips that I have. If you want to pursue your passion, get a mentor and be a mentor to someone. Connect with non-human friends in terms of books, podcasts, and audiobooks. Follow morning rituals, and if you're one of those who want to have an evening ritual, you are most welcome. Schedule your calendar, try out new things, and use mind mapping techniques for your creative pursuits. So now at this point of time, I'll probably shut my mouth and let you ask any question if you have.
Haritosh, can I come with my question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Haritosh, this morning ritual, like you told 6 steps. So I just want to
Mhm.
know, like setting up these steps and like following few days may be easy, but be consistent with the step. What you suggest for that? How we can be consistent with this step for long time?
Good question, Amit. Thank you for asking this. First of all, two things here. One is that it is my own morning rituals, and how I find out this is my own ritual is I tried experimenting with different things. Do I like to write first? Do I like to read first? And it keeps evolving. So I might not be reading every day, or I might not be. So whatever works for you, I think nobody can tell you that, Amit, this is your morning ritual. Amit has to find out what works for Amit. And I mean, to be honest, some people actually have evening rituals where they wind down, and once they are done, they put their phone away and then read a book and then sleep. So whatever suits you, and that depends on how you want to experiment with yourself. Um, there are a few things, like if you talk about Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club, he says that you have 1 hour dedicated, and they divide that into 3 parts: 20 minutes for physical workout, 20 minutes for your soul or basically meditation, and 20 minutes for journaling or reading books. So you might want to experiment, start with that experiment, and go on to see what works for you and what doesn't.
Like just I want to know how I can keep myself motivated to stick with these all thing for long run.
Mhm. So that's a good question, and I think I believe the best motivation is the self motivation, as you said earlier. And you have to really find out what works for you. Having a coffee and a book is something for me, but that may not work for you. So you have to actually go into experimentation mode. When I started with morning ritual, I did not have the journaling thing. Now it's like my first or second thing is having that journaling for 5 minutes, and I do not follow any format. So you have to keep evolving and see what works and what doesn't work. The key message is be flexible and see what works for you. That probably is the key message.
Thank you.
I would
Uh,
request everyone to come up and ask questions and give their names.
yeah,
Please
I
come
do have.
forward. Yeah,
Yeah, I have a one
Rachanda.
question. This is
Yeah,
Chandra.
please.
Rachana.
Yeah, one thing is my question. See, finding mentor in a Toastmaster is okay because it is a similar platform. Here we trend that we get easily mentor. But when it coming to professional life or in other field, how we can
Mm-hmm.
find a mentor? Because I tried in my profession to tell that help me in this situation, but it is a very difficult to find mentor in a professional life. So can you give input on this area?
Okay. Chandak, which profession you're part of? Sorry, I did not get that.
I'm into marketing.
Marketing. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a very valid question. How do you find your mentor? Many of the organization have some of their own mentorship programs. One of the things would be that you reach out to your HR organization. Sometimes they do have a formal process.
I'm
Otherwise, it
sorry,
could vary.
sorry to interrupt you. See, I am not working in a corporate culture. I work in a
Uh-huh.
mediocre company. So I just want you to tell me in that way only. So that
I
will be
understand that. I understand that. So yeah, even for I believe you might have something related to human resources or something. And if not, I think one of the my first mentor was my first boss, right? And sometime if you are open to your boss and have a candid conversation with them, that no, see, I am struggling with this, and do you think you can help? Or more importantly, can you suggest somebody which whom I can approach? So always reach out to probably your boss in candid conversation. It could also be somebody who's been there for some years, somebody who's like 5 years, 10 years. He may not be directly your boss, but he has been there for some time in that industry. That could also be a good place for you to start with. keep it open that no, you don't have to make somebody mentor. You can just ask them that do they know, and if they are somebody who know, they would say I would be more than happy to help, or they can actually redirect you to the right person.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Kanika. Yeah.
Hi, this is Kanika. So my question is that, like you said, you are into, you ventured into creative field in this lockdown
Yeah.
period, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like if I talk about myself, so I am an upcoming writer. I just published my solo book, and then I'm a co-author in several anthologies.
Mm-hmm.
So and when I relate to your experience, like you said you've been a YouTube creator and you've been a I don't think so you're podcasting right now, but I think you listen to podcasts.
Yeah,
But
I'm
you've
podcast consumer. Yeah.
yeah, so but you've been a YouTube creator, and so have been I. But how do you deal with disappointment, when your efforts do not reach, do not reap that fruits that you expect? For example, my book,
Mm.
it's I've considered the reviews of some professional critiques, and they found it really good. But then I'm being a self-published author, I'm not able to market it that well, or the results among the masses is not that well. So similarly, if you ever faced this kind of thing, that you've created a YouTube content which is very good, but it is not
Mm-hmm.
reaching the audience that you expected? So how do you deal with the disappointment? Then you don't feel like working on
Yeah.
this anymore.
I, Yeah, thank you, Kanika. That is really a wonderful question. As I understand, the question is that at times, yeah, we want to, we have done a lot of hard work and we do not get the desired results. And how do we deal with it? And to be honest, yeah, I'm still dealing with it. Whenever I make a video, which I think is going to be super hit, uh, it doesn't get enough views, and I do feel motivated. But at that time, I think when you get one comment on your video, for example, that is more than enough for me to drive that. You have to find that you don't have to reach out to masses. If I talk about a book, if you can find one person who says that your book is amazing, I learned something out of it, or if you do not have that person, imagine that who is this book gonna help, who is this going to find it useful, and who's going to get his or her life changed because of that book. That I think can give you the drive. And then yeah, marketing of book, yeah, there are different mechanism, and I'm not an expert to that, so I'm not going to venture into that. But if you know your purpose behind your passion, sometimes keeping that in mind really helps me. For me, yeah, if I get one or two comments on my video, I think that keeps me really informed, keep me really up to next video. Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, so thank you. This would be the last question. And
All right.
thank you very much, Haritosh. A big round of applause for Haritosh for giving us such an amazing session to remember for a lifetime. Such a lucid and comprehensible account of how we can follow our passions. So I'll surely put my phone away. So we'll move to the next session of the day, that is storytelling by Geeta Kashyap ma'am. So I would request Geeta Kashyap ma'am to come up and tell her story.
Well, good evening to one and all present here. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Have you ever seen a beautiful dream turn into a nightmare? Or a lovely place, a paradise, suddenly turn into a nightmarish place, a hell? Well, in order to connect you with this, let me tell you a short story by Rabindranath Tagore, The Lost Child. This little child, he was accompanying his father to the village fair. And they were enjoying, he was enjoying to the utmost everything, the hot syrupy jalebis, the merry-go-round, the giant wheel, everything was filling his heart with great joy. The monkey, Madari, making the monkeys dance. So, but suddenly he finds that he's lost. His parents were nowhere to be found. His heart misses a beat. He shrieks on top of his voice, "Ma, Baba, where are you?" A kind gentleman comes and tries to pacify him. He buys the child a lot of jalebis. He buys him a number of toys. "No, I don't want this. I want my ma. I want my Baba." So you can see the same place which the child was enjoying suddenly becomes nightmarish for him. Let me tell you my own incident. I had gone a few years back to Dubai to visit my daughter who works there. Together we planned to go to the deserts to have a desert safari. But due to some urgent work, she couldn't accompany me. I went alone. Why alone? There were so many other tourists from all over the world. We went there. When I reached the deserts, the beautiful sand dunes filled my heart with joy. Exquisite, too beautiful for words. While everybody else was busy capturing the pictures, capturing the picturesque beauty in their camera, I wanted to explore the deserts alone. I went. I climbed one dune and then another till I got exhausted and I sat down on the soft, velvety sand. I sat down and I watched the beauty around me. No sound, no noise, no people, nothing around, no life. But it was still so beautiful. The rays of the setting sun falling on the dunes made it look all the more beautiful, goldenish yellow in color. I was extremely tired. My heart seemed to be talking to the dune. I want to be here. It was so serene, so peaceful. I wanted to be there forever and ever. I want to be one amongst you. I was so exhausted, I lay down on the soft velvety sand. And I wanted to relax every muscle of my body. The hectic daily schedule had taken a toll on my life. And my mind had lost its luster. I wanted to rekindle the lost fire in me. So I lay down, and I don't know when I went off to sleep. I slept maybe for half an hour, 1 hour, I don't know. But when I woke up, the same place which was so intoxicating, so beautiful a few moments ago, became scary, became terrible. It was dark totally, no sign of life around. The huge dunes seemed to be monstrous, ghostly, and almost about to attack me. I was so scared. My heart missed a beat. I was shivering like a leaf. A chill ran down my spine. I don't know whether I was hallucinating or whether I was dreaming. I seemed to hear a strange sound. "We want you to be here forever and ever. We want you to be part of us." No, 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 no. This is not what I had wanted. This is not what I had tried. I started moving back as fast as I could, climbed one dune and then another. And the only sound was the wind that was chasing me. That sound was like the sound from a horror movie. Somehow I pulled up all my strength and started walking till I could see the dim lights of my camp. I was so thankful to see some kind of life around me. I was so happy, I heaved a sigh of relief. So, friends, we can see that the same place can be so exotic, so beautiful, so intoxicating with the mindset when there is no fear in your mind. But when there is fear in your mind, the same place can be really terrible and ghostly and fearful. With that, I end my story. Thank you. Over to you.
A big round of applause for Geeta ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Such a powerful story. And you hit the right chord. Wonderful. We were completely engrossed. So we'll move to the next part. The beautiful audience that we have will participate in this session. So it's your time now. So you can share your names in the chat box. So let me share my screen. So the activity goes like this. So you need to identify your strengths. So you have to talk about your top passions. Here, one passion. You have to talk about your top passion. You have to tell an imaginary story of your life based on this passion and your strengths. You have to take a minute and imagine and fantasize that as if it is your real story. You need to talk about what appeals you and what makes you cringe. Like you can use these words to help you. For example, I'll give you an example. For example, you can say, I'm organized, creative, and friendly, and my passion is baking. So that's an imagination that I run a bakery where customers buy cupcakes with a little icing portrait of themselves. What appeals you in that is making cupcakes with artistic frosting would be awesome. And what cringe you? And following your passion that I'd never start my own business, the thought of bookkeeping gives me hives. So, audience, I would like to, participants, I would like to give your names in the chat box. Sorry, Abu, I cannot see the chat box. I don't know why.
Haritosh.
So, yeah.
Haritosh is
Marutesh.
Yeah. So that's the first one. Yes, Marutosh. Yeah, I could see it. I would like others also to give your names, share your names in the chat box. Yes, Marutosh. You can tell your story.
Hello everyone, I am Marutesh. I'm working as a research scholar and teaching faculty in Chitradurga. My passion is after completing my graduation, I thought to I searched for many jobs. I did, but I didn't get a good job. Then I thought to go for teaching profession. Uh, there I faced some grammar issues and also public speaking. I was not so fluent in public speaking. Hence, I I I joined for the English spoken classes, and I learned English grammar, and that also that is if but I didn't get a good environment to speak with other person. Now, wherever I used to talk in English, if I not fluent, they start in our regional language. Then I thought what to do, and I hang out with Toastmasters. After joining the Toastmaster, I learn. I focused on all the roles like grammarian, evaluation, master of the
I'm
day.
sorry to intervene. I'm sorry to intervene, but just to inform that every participant is given only 2 minutes to speak out. After 2 minutes, we will have to move to the next participant. So kindly adhere to the time. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
It's
Marutosh.
already 2 minutes for you. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you, Marutosh. Now, the next participant is Kanika Sharma. Please, Kanika. Come.
Hi. So, my strengths are my command over English language, my communication, and my imagination, and which by default makes writing my passion. So if I have to imagine a life, I would say that I am a very successful writer, and I am going to Man Booker's award ceremony and receiving a Man Booker for my novel. And that's not just imagination, that's my dream and wishful thinking for me. So that is there. And cringe. So I often cringe when I read these novels, which are written with bad grammar and English. And I'm really sorry, that person must have put effort, but that really makes me cringe. Similarly, if somebody uses too much of slangs on messages and text and on phone, so that really makes me cringe, that what are we doing to this beautiful language that we have. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Kanika. So the next participant is Geeta ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everybody. My strength is I'm very persuasive. I don't give up easily. For example, when I was newly married, I saw my brother-in-law was teaching his sister to ride a scooter, to drive a scooter. So I wanted to learn myself. When I asked him, he said, "Do you know how to ride a bicycle?" I said, "No." He said, "Then it's not possible." So I took that and I believed that for some time. I carried on and I didn't learn. After a few years, my husband bought a new car. So once again, the desire came into me. I told him, "Can you teach me? Even I want to learn." He said, "You don't know bicycle, you don't know scooter. It's not possible." And I believed him for some time again. But then I wanted to hear my own voice. I went to the driving school. I asked them, I didn't ask them, I gave them the money and I said, "Start teaching me. Let me see." And believe me, I think I learned faster than, that's what he said, I learned faster than the others. So this is what I want to tell everybody. Don't believe in what others say. Believe in yourself. If you have faith, the same happened with swimming. So please follow your own passions and listen to your, and cringe. I cringe about people passing their comments unnecessarily. If you cannot help, at least don't discourage the others. That is very, very important. I don't like anybody coming and telling you that you cannot do this, because according to me, I believe there's nothing that we cannot do. If we have the willpower, if we are having the craze for craving to learn, we can learn anything, be it a language, be it any kind of art. So if we have the craving, we will learn it. Thank you. Over to you, Kamalji.
Thank you, Geeta ma'am. Now, next participant is Chanda. Chanda, please come up and tell your story.
Yes. Yeah. So being a marketing person, I feel I am a creative and I'm very persuasive, because whenever you go for any kind of creative work, it requires a lot of visualization and ideation for any work. So whenever I go for get design creative with my designer team, so I lost myself somewhere, and I always come up with the new ideas with the creativity. And what I does personally, I run through another industry and take other industry idea and try to fill up in my industry. So I always creative. And is I talk about the what makes me cringe, when I thought that yes I can't do this, that always make me down. And then again I will again try to push myself. Yes, I can do it. What I do always myself is I set a certain challenge for myself. Learning new activity. It could be dance, it could be learning language, it could be any even it could be a small task like a worshipping God in a day-to-day activity during the lockdown. So I always take some small goal in my life which can give me enjoyment and motivate. And so that if I'm not able to do that, that always make me cringe. So I always try I should take a small task for myself, and I should complete that in at any cost. I always take that task as a adventurous. Not I never burden myself. I just feel passionate and try to, as in focused and adventurous way, and learn as much as possible from that task, and always try to gift myself with small things so I can more motivated and passionate about my task and focus about it and get more efficiency in my life, whatever I want to achieve through small accomplishment, because that help
I'm
you
sorry,
to.
but the time is up. Thank you.
Thank you, Chanda. Thank you so much. The next participant is Vignesh. So, Vignesh, please tell your
Kindly
imaginary
adhere to
story.
the timings. Kindly adhere to the timings. Thank you.
So, yeah, my top passion is cricket, and I always love playing the sport, and it's been really my favorite game since I was a small kid, and well, being a big fan of MS Dhoni, and one day, well, the selectors they saw me in the ground and playing at Chennai M. Chidambaram Stadium, and well, we told that I'm capable of going to the national team, and in 2 days' time, I got selected to the tour of Australia, which is coming up. So I went to Australia with my team, and it was a great tour. And well, I just wanted to be relaxed and just focus on the match. And well, we started off with the ODI series, and well, they asked me where I want to bat, and I told anywhere is fine. So they told you can go and open along with Rohit. So it was a great feeling opening along with a very good player like Rohit. It was a great moment, and when I entered the big ground in Melbourne, it was big stadium, and first time coming and playing in a big ground. What it was an passionate thing for me, and going onto the pitch, we won the toss bat first, and well, I just took my time at the start, and so it was really, I just was focused, completely focused on the balls that were bowled, and
Thank you, sir, but the time is up. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Vignesh. Our next participant is Abu. Abu, please, we welcome you to tell your imaginary story, passionate story.
Thank you so much, Kanwaljit, for this lovely thing. I'm not going to share an imaginary story. I'm going to share a real story. Strength, I'm not going to talk about my strength, but the strength I'm going to talk about is kind. I remember my mentor, as Haritosh has mentioned. I remember joining my organization 8 years ago, and then my ex-manager, his name is Anurag Simon. And I remember him conducting a workshop. And when I looked at him conducting the workshop, I was completely taken aback. He was just awesome. People were laughing, people were having great time, and everybody was learning. And then he asked people, okay, let's take our lunch break. Nobody wanted to take a lunch break. It had been 3 hours, and people just wanted him to continue. I knew that this is the kind of trainer I want to become. So after the workshop, I walked up to Anurag, who was my ex-manager. I told him, Anurag, I want to be a trainer like you. Can you tell me how can I become a trainer like you? So I had my notepad and pen, and I told him, tell me those qualities that are required. He told me, Abu, why don't you keep your notepad and pen away? And I kept my notepad and pen away. And he told me the secret behind being the best doctor, best lawyer, best engineer, or a best trainer is being a kind human being. A good human being always is by default the best trainer, the best doctor, and best engineer. Strive rather than striving forward to become best among anything, try becoming kind. And if you are a kind person, by default you become best at your job. I cringe when people think that it is not anything except kind. Over to you, Kanwaljit.
Thank you very much, Abu. And I'm afraid we cannot take more participants because we need to wind up this session here. This part of the session. Thank you very much, and such beautiful stories you people had, and great storytellers and gifted storytellers in our book club. A big round of applause for everyone for telling such great stories. Wonderful. We had a great time. Thank you very much, everyone. So now I would like to call Abu for polls. And I would request everyone to please vote for the best storyteller. I would request everyone to please vote. Use your rights of voting. And let the democracy win. So I'm closing this one. polling? Yeah. So guess who is the winner? Who's the winner? Please guess.
Amelia.
Okay.
Everyone is winner.
Yeah, everyone is a winner, but yes. So we need to. So Geeta Kashyap ma'am is the winner of the storytelling round. A big round of applause, Geeta ma'am. It was really, really a touching story. In the beginning, it was touching, and then later on, you shared your own experience. Wonderful, ma'am. Now, okay, thank you very much. And next is our keynote speaker. He'll declare the results of the last week's activity. So I would request Haritosh to please announce the winners of the activity that was done last week, and also please announce the next keynote speaker. So
Thank you
over
so
to
much.
you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kavaljeet. First of all, thank you so much for having me as the keynote speaker. I definitely will cherish this moment for some time. I had an announcement which I wanted to make, so I'll take 30 seconds out there. So I just wanted to announce that I am now writing a book, which should hopefully be published in early next year, and I will let you all know. So that's the short announcement. Now, coming to the activity of this week, I am so impressed by the participant of this particular week. We started with Kavaljeet giving her dance performance, then Abu sharing his fitness and Bhangra video, then Sweta the running, Shailesh running, and then Shefali so social contribution, Geeta ma'am for singing, Mansi for the social cause, and Amelia, last but not the least, the poetry recitation. And it was really a difficult job for me to pick one. So I had to go back to the main purpose, and the purpose of the passion is to drive you to get results. And when I think from that perspective, there was one clear person that I could see who actually went from a really bad state of life to being a winner. I'm talking about Shweta, who, despite being arthritis, went on to go to the marathon. So she is definitely the winner. And say, Shweta, I would soon be reaching out to you to do your interview and publish it in my channel. So thank you so much. Now, I think coming to the next week's keynote speaker, I think nobody can introduce her best than me. She's someone who's been working in TCS for 2 years now, a software engineer, but more importantly, her passion in life is to learn about passion, productivity, and personal development. She's also writing a book named Earn Money Following Your Passion. She's an avid bibliophile, YouTuber, and Toastmaster, a mindset makeover coach who helps people find their calling and start working on this. And she also has a YouTube channel where she mostly provide book summaries of global bestsellers. A dear friend of mine, a person I'm associated for last 1 year. Help me welcome, put your hands together for Taiba Mahmood as your next keynote speaker. Taiba, over to you.
Thank you so much. So next week, the session that I would be taking would be on emotional agility. So I would just read out a few things just to help you guys understand what the book is all about and what the session would be like. So let me read it out. I'm not spending enough time with my kids. This presentation, it's going to be a disaster. Why is my house always such a big mess? We all have neglect, doubts, worries of this kind that are inevitable part of our modern lifestyle. And many of us magnify these subjective negative thoughts into unshakable facts. We feel that we are far from being in our control of our emotions, rather, our emotions are in control of us. So, to help you understand this dilemma of when your emotions take over you and when you need to take over those emotions, this is the dilemma that we all face, and it is one of the most important things that we need to learn as modern people, because emotional agility is single most important topic that affects all areas of our life, that be it our physical health, be it our mental health, be it our work, career, personal life, professional life, if we are not in that zone of clarity, if we are cluttered here in our head, we can't give our best. So how do we deal with our emotions, which are of so many shades, so many colors, and we have always these doubts, which one to choose? Are only the positive emotions the best ones? Should we deny our negative emotions? So we are going to go in depth in the arena of emotions during the session. So over to Kawaljeet now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Taiba, and we are eagerly waiting for your session. So, thank you, everyone. I must say that passion is priceless. This is what we learned today. And of course, I would rather die of passion than boredom. So, with this note, I would hand over. No, first of all, I would like to thank the entire team of leaders, our readers, participants, Haritosh, and everybody present in the meeting, those who had these wonderful stories. So, with that, I would hand over the stage to Paramjot. So, thank you very much, everyone. Yes, Paramjot, over to you.
That was an amazing session. Thank you so much, Haritosh. That was an amazing and insightful session. I think we must have heard one thing, that we become what we are, the people we are with. I think whenever I feel I have a less of a passion, I just open the WhatsApp group of leaders or reader, and I see a lot of people turning out or sharing something which makes me come back. Which makes me and Abu motivated me motivate us so much to do more, and what new we can bring to the table, so that this community which we have made, this is founded in this lockdown period, and we feel like we know you from years, and it's like a family relation now. Thank you so much, everyone. That was an insightful session. I think people today get to know just how they can go about passion. I know some of my fellow Toastmasters and people who are present in the room are pursuing their passion. They will going to follow that. Thank you so much, Haritosh, for your session. Kanwaljit, that was an amazing anchoring from you. One thing I really like about you is you put energies, you put your best effort every time you do anything. Thank you so much, Kanwaljit, for that. Geeta, ma'am, a vivid storyteller. I think, Shraddha, you are really amazing when it comes to storytelling. I think we all loved your stories, even just as a storyteller, even as when you came as a participant of storytelling. Both the story were really amazing and insightful. Thank you so much, Geeta, ma'am. Rose, for being the vigilant timer. It's very important to keep people in time, and thank you so much for being vigilant on that. Thank you so much. Also, I would like to share my heartfelt thanks to Toastmaster Abu Shadab, who has been working very hard for this book club. Whatsoever we have every week for this club, it's the maximum, and the maximum effort is from Abu, who makes sure everything is quite planned and ensure the creativity environment is there, where people can learn and people get inspired to come to book club. Also, I would like to thank our VP PR Toastmaster Shajita for doing the PR for it. Now, I would like to call Abu. He wants to make some announcement, and then I'm going to close the meeting. Abu, go ahead.
Thank you so much, people. As you all know, so December will be the end of our EC, and January onwards, we look forward. It's very important to have new talents, and I'll be reaching out to you in person. It's such an honorable thing to do, to coordinate the entire thing. I will go ahead and we will create a lot of interesting PR, and we want you people to come forward, and we want somebody to continue this legacy. Uh, so I will be reaching out to you people. Please go ahead and nominate, and please be selfish. It's not a charity. Let me tell you, it's not a charity. You will learn a lot. You will meet people who will change your life. And as Taiba has told you how to make money out of your passion, this can also be a reason how you can make money. And that is something that I'm going to talk in my RPR activities. Over to you, Paramjot.
Thank you so much, Abu. I am not disclosing Abu's bank account details as how much he have earned after conducting book club sessions. But yes, definitely, book club is an amazing opportunity to coordinate, to organize. You can do a short span of MBA through a book club. And I'm very excited about the next session because the next keynote speaker is one of the passionate person I've came across. Whenever I talk to her, I always seen a passion in her talking about something new, something interesting, and something new she want to bring on the table. I'm really excited for your session. I request everyone to please join. And now it's time to create a memory out of this book club session. I request everybody to show some passionate signature from your side so that people can follow and we can create a memory. Great. I'll click a picture and I request people to create 1, 2, 3. Yay. Done. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It was lovely having you here, and we are looking forward to our next meeting. Thank you so much for joining. Till then, take care of yourself, stay healthy, stay safe, and good night. Bye bye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
I
much.
think
Everyone.
all these sessions are getting bigger and better. So it's really
Thank you.
amazing to be a part of this community.
Thank you so much, Taiba. We are looking forward to your session.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Haritosh, I'm going to be implementing all the tips that I got from you. Wonderful session,
Thank you.
Really. Thank you so very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I especially love the 5 a.m. club. I don't know how long will I be a part of it, but I will give it a shot.
Very interesting. Yeah.
I also want to join that club.
I got an email also for the 5 a.m. club, but I declined it. I said, "Kaun uthayega?" But does it really help?
So I'm not officially part of the 5 a.m. club to say or email list or anything. I have that book, Robin Sharma. Whenever I feel demotivated, I go back to that. There's no club as such that you go like Toastmaster Club and all. There are some
Apparently,
Facebook groups.
there is a 5 a.m. club.
Yeah, there is a group. Yeah, I haven't joined it yet, but I am the only member of my own 5 a.m. club to say, and you can make your own club.
Let's create one in our book club. Yeah, we can like message on WhatsApp once we woke up and say.
I actually got this alarm which runs. You have to run behind that alarm to wake up.
Yeah.
Oh,
so nice. I would catch it and then I would go off to sleep again.
Yeah, that's clocky. I think that actually jumps from one to other. Yeah, actually running. Once you run, you're like, okay, ab kya sona.
Anyway, thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Story, Geeta ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a lovely club. How much is the speaking timings, madam? 5 a.m. club. What is the speaking timings, madam? 5 a.m. club.
Sorry, speaking. The main club meeting, or you're asking about the book club?
Yeah, 5 a.m. club is there, no? For that.
That
5 a.m. club is actually a book by Robin Sharma. So whoever reads that book, he says that I am the part of the 5 a.m. club. There are some Facebook groups and other groups. I'm not part of that. I try to wake up at 5 a.m. So I say I am a member of 5 a.m. club.
Okay.
There may be some groups. I've heard that there are some Facebook and Google groups and other, but I'm not part of those yet.
Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paranjot.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Abu. Thank you. Thank you, Haritosh.